That's interesting. That's exciting. That's exciting to hear. We like the exciting stuff, don't we? We like the exciting stuff. We do. Oh man, what is it? It's a beautiful day. Kind of gray. Hey, look, a squirrel. Squirrel! Man, Pisces, what are you guys doing? Energy's all kinds of wonky. Y'all like that word? Wonky. I like words that don't have any meaning. Words that just don't exist. Girls are talking about all kinds of fun stuff. I hear there's an earth angel that took down covens of madmen and witches and warlocks and instant karma. Wow, that's interesting. That's nifty. I guess that kind of shows people how important their spiritual purpose is, huh? Nifty. It's kind of cool. You know, I used to play this game when I was a kid. It's called Connect the Dots. You ever played Connect the Dots? It's pretty cool. It's usually right around the word search. And fill in the blanks. Mad Libs. You guys remember Mad Libs? Those were fun. Mad Libs would give you like a list of nouns and adjectives and phrases and whatnot, and you kind of got to put in your own little wonky word, whatever filled in the blank with your own creative juices. It's just what it is. Nothing like getting the creative juices flowing. Yeah, I was reading the angel number. It was like, well, I guess 43%. I'm like, oh, well, there's a message there. I read the first of it. It said patience pays. Oh, chopper! Get in the chopper! And that's not going towards the hospital. That is a chopper that would be flying over my house, it looks like. Yeah. Nothing like a good chopper flying over your house. Get in the chopper! Come on, Sarah Connor! You know, I think that's one of the best things about the consciously unconscious human exploration, because it seems like becoming human is one of the most foreign things to humanity on the planet. They all want to be aliens or firemen, cops, robbers, nurses, doctors, cult leaders. It's just what it is. You don't know what these people are up to. You just don't know what these people are up to. Chaos and conflict is what it sounds like. I just focus on peace. Focusing on the peace and harmony aspects of life. That's what it is. You girls are doing an amazing job. You are truly opening up the doors to how important energy work, light work, holistic remedies, tapping into your God-given abilities. And it's what it is. I mean, creating our own reality comes with it. It's like Tetris. You guys remember the game Tetris? Just kind of took the shapes that fit, made a foundation with them. It's just what it is. However, every time you would build up, you know, there was like an elimination part to the game. And it's what it is. I'm super excited to hear you girls being able to identify narcissistic mad men behind the scenes being the ringleader of whatever is going on. That's good to know. That's good to know. Because, a fish always stinks from the head down. A fish just stinks from the head down. When you get in the realm of people that only care about money, you do want to change it up because you want to know what they're doing behind the scenes. I would say there is a truth they don't want getting out about taking control of the financial system, because that's basically what it is. Every 100 years since the fall of Rome, so they say. And now that we have that Gemini energy in the situation, you never know. We want to go for peace. We want to go for peace. We don't want it to cost us a piece of our ear. We want to keep our ears intact. We just do. The metaphysical aspects of the court system. Oh wait, I'm sorry. The physical evidence aspects of the court system. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. It makes you wonder, where do the Akashic Records apply to the people that only care about money and not spirituality? It makes you wonder. I'm sure that does cause a lot more conflict than, or they would be the ones receiving karma right now. I don't know. I know that it's karma for Christmas. That's the only thing my higher self told me. And that's what it is. You have that energy all throughout the collective of narcissistic madmen trying to stop spiritual awakenings, and it makes you wonder, are they intoxicated? Do they have distilled spirits running all through them? Because I can understand how decision making is altered when you're under the influence, and it's just what it is. I hear there's some serious tower moments. That's what it is. My question is, if it was not a complete sacrifice on the earth angel, how does the divine, I don't know, it just makes you wonder how divine judgment is executed. But I try not to think about it. None of my business. None of my concern. It's when I hear you ladies say that maintaining peace is the key to all of this, you still got to stop and think. Have we really become so desensitized that, a stranger's downfall? Because, that truly is what would trigger me. That always affects my peace. I'm the big dummy that sees them giving money to homeless people on YouTube, and you hit the paradox of how embarrassing that must be for the individual that's getting the blessing, but then how touching it is that someone actually gave a shit. However, with all the illusion, you wonder if they go, hey man, here, can I give the homeless guy cash, and then walk around the corner, hey man, I'm going to have to get that back from you. I just wanted to make a YouTube video. It's just what it is. You never know with these people. You don't know what they're up to. It's just what it is. just what it is. However, when I heard one of you last night discussing how you just don't feel like you fit into the autonomous rat race, it's understandable. That's the control system on humanity. It's the matrix. And when you break out of the matrix, well, then they don't want anything to do with you because they know that impeding on your free will brings them karma. And now that they all know that they're getting karma, oh man, you know they've got to be going for broke at this point. That's what it is. They'll be making hasty mistakes. I think I'm going to create a new thing out of marshmallows and pretzels, kind of like Rice Krispie treats, except marshmallows and pretzels. I'm going to name them hasty mistakes. We used to have haystacks, some kind of weird fudge stuff. It wasn't fudge from Uranus General Store, but it was definitely hasty. Or haystacks. I prefer pretzels though. Hasty mistakes. All wrapped up like a mental pretzel. That's just what it is. It is going to be interesting to see how all this turns out. So I definitely did agree with you. Taking vengeance into your own hands never turns out as good as what karma provides. Confirmation 104 on the clock. That's what it is. See, I get clicks in the windshield too, just like knocks on the wall, spiritual knocks on the wall. I mean, when you're 10 toes down with your guardian angels or your ancestors or the ascended masters or whatever you girls are telling everyone is surrounding a Pisces, they kind of knock on my window. They do all kinds of weird shit, affect my electronics. That's the fun one. Spiritual meaning of Bluetooth interference. However, the problem with that is you'll always have outside interference, and it is. I mean, we want to make absolutely sure that outside interference gets its karmic lesson. You want to return that tenfold. That's what it is. And I mean, when I was reading the angel number about patience pays, because I mean, my higher self kind of guided me to that. I can always tell when it's, and see, that's another thing. When someone else tells you how to communicate with your higher self, everyone is different. Everyone is going to establish a communication in their own way. I don't know it to be true, but if somebody tells me this is how you do it, and I know that they're intercepting messages from the divine, that would tell me that they're telling you how to do it so they know how to intercept it. It's just what it is. They're strategic and they're spiritual warfare. That's what it is. They know not what they do. So send them love. And hell, I mean, they keep us guessing and having to question everything, which is fine. You always want to ask lots of questions. You certainly don't want to question universal law and how karmic retribution and divine justice play out. You just want to maintain your virtue of patience. Patience pays. Patience pays. However, I don't know what kind of payment karmic failure provides, but that's what it is. It's just what it is. And when I hear you girls talking about them realizing that they are now cursed, that's a concern. Cursed is a concern, because I mean, in some schools have thought curses and hexes and things like that only work if you believe in them, but karma has no address. That's a universal law. That doesn't have anything to do with love spells and glamour spells and mind control tactics and impeding on free will. It doesn't have anything to do with any of that. That is literally the universe stepping in and, basically guiding the lives of those that tried to play God in your life. And it's what it is. Will it be shocking? Well, absolutely. Will we see it? The universe will probably make it so, because, what comes around goes around. So if they sat back and laughed watching you, then you're going to have to sit back and watch them and, I guess, try not to laugh. Not let it disturb your peace. Be happy that they can no longer get in your energy without getting instant karma. That's just a beautiful gift to have. That is, I can't think of a better gift for Christmas than instant karma for those with a closed heart chakra. It's just what it is. And love, light, and truth set you free. So, if you know, you know. It's just what it is. That's going to be the phrase that will go down in history. The earth angel's light triggers their demons. And that's probably the biggest thing about the ascension into the light is, with people spiritual narcissists trying to cash in on the spiritual community, things of that. When you get a big lantern shined on you, and you'll have a this and a that. You'll hear some readers that say, that's putting a target because it's sacrifice season, and then you'll get other readers that say your ancestors are whipping their ass. So it's what it is. Anyone setting the intent for sacrifice would probably have sacrificial ancestors all over their ass, I guess. I don't know. Patience pays. Patience certainly pays. I guess it'll pay to see. It'll pay to see. And watching it unfold, it's just basically what it is. Watching the drama and the gossip unfold. So, my question is, with all those, quantum jump teachers out there, all those illusionists of, timeline hopping or whatever the hell they talk about, why don't they just dimension hop out of the chaos and calamity that they're in? Because, that's what you girls are telling me, is that they're having attachment issues, abandonment issues. Confirmation, 1:11 on the clock. Did you hear that click? Right at 1:11. That's amazing. It's just amazing. You hear them say all the time, following intuition is the hardest part of intuition. And that's what it is. Following your divine guidance is probably the hardest part about divine guidance. You have to learn the language of spirit. Pay attention to the signs from the universe. Be careful what you ask for. Always be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. However, certainly make sure it's for the highest good of everyone. So, when I hear you girls say no one else on the planet would have been able to maintain their sanity. Well, I mean, that's probably the thing that they're going to try to go back to, is when the chaos, magic, the mental manipulation, things of that nature were going on in the situation. And I mean, for you to say that it was devised by people in prison, that's beautiful. Because I mean, you have to think, you gave me the one key that I needed earlier. Because I mean, you're absolutely right. How can you be in an area hanging out with people that you've just met, and then they ask you if you know somebody from where you're from, especially when you didn't tell them you were from that place? Because I mean, nobody knows I'm from this town. You know, when I'm in a new area and they ask me where I'm from, I tell them where I just came from, so that I can protect the privacy of my hometown. And I mean, it's where I'm from is the most corrupt county, and maybe not the most, but certainly one of the top corrupt counties in the state of Texas. So if you have that much corruption in a county, chances are people all over the world are going to have heard about it, because it gets a lot of national coverage sometimes due to its corruption. Books have been written about the corruption of where I'm from. And I mean, that's just the thing, is you giving me that little tidbit of information was beautiful, because I can distinctly remember I'm from this town right over there where I just came from before I got here. And you're asking me about somebody I know from the most corrupt county in Texas. So, I mean, that tells me all I need to know. And it shows just how wonderful your divination skills are. Especially when it comes to human sacrifice. I mean, come on, for Christ's sake. Almost like they're trying to nail Redeemer consciousness to the cross. That's what it is. Got to keep those earth angel healers protected. Especially from people that want to lock you down and euthanize you over profit. Because as it is, all they care about is money. They don't care about the sheep they line up with experimental means, because they truly are soulless individuals, energy vampires, things of that nature. And I mean, they would be in the hierarchy of the food chain. And when people come to the realization that hierarchy is run by a bunch of draconian vampires, it's just what it is. I mean, you think of blood-sucking vampire when energy is energy. An energy vampire, it wouldn't matter what it is. You go to the blood transfusion, they would be, blood vampires. They're sucking the energy out of you for donations, I guess. I don't know. That's what it is. Does it truly help people? Oh, we don't know. The way this wonky energy is changing on the planet, it'd be neat to see. We will definitely need advancements to keep up with the Joneses of the energy vampires. Just what it is. And I mean, as alarming as that sounds, especially when you hear it, that they don't like truth speakers speaking the truth, and they want to silence them by planting evidence, digging up dirt from the past, anything they can to lock them into a system of, we only focus on this, what you're being charged with. We're only charging you with this. And now you have to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Great. We're also going to flip the tables on that for crimes against humanity. Because we need to stand in that truth and justice at this point. And if you've got energy vampires, earth angels, reptilians, draconians, all of this information that is out there, regardless of what is true and what is not, there have been crimes committed against humanity and it wasn't foreign soil. It wasn't foreign terrorists. It was foreign terrorists to every country. And I mean, Dolores Cannon said, just tell the angels what you want and sit back and watch the magic happen. So, I mean, we certainly want what comes around to go around. We just want balance. Let patience pay. See who ends up being the patients that have to pay. It's what it is. It's what it is. Yeah. That's always been a concern is, why would they care about this when they didn't care about that? And I heard one of you beautiful readers say, a lot of chaos and conflict going on in the background and no one cares. And I thought, well, yeah, that's what they wanted. They wanted you to look the other way. Here, put a mask on, social distance, separation. There is strength in numbers in this situation. However, the more we can keep you busy, which is basically, it's Roman bread and circus. And then you'll have, those that say, oh, it is what it is. I agree. I heard one of the coaches last night talk about how you're casting a spell on your auric field of as it is what it is. That's just acceptance, not taking action, and still taking action. However, taking action on an energy level, number one, light triggers demons. Well, that's alarming. That means there's demons triggered. And it being an energetic, divine light that provides healing blessings in threes and positive or negative karma tenfold. I would understand that create a lot of jealousy, a lot of envy, a lot of madmen with sacrifice on their mind that only care about money, genocide, and euthanasia of the sheep or the humans. Certainly don't like anyone that wants to give them an ulterior method, an alternative choice. The last thing they want you to know is there is a cure without profit. It's the last thing they want you to know. And they have you programmed where it's the last thing you would believe. However, people are starting to wake up to see that if there is a this, there is a that. They would not be able to know the impossible without knowing what is possible. And nothing can be impossible if there is an opposite end that is possible. You would have to have impossible on both sides of the coin where it ends. And now you have that willow chip with Google expanding the universe. Well, if quantum computing is expanding the universe, then that is expanding a simulation. That's expanding the matrix. That's expanding a computer program. That's expanding the ones and zeros. And that's That's super alarming. Because, I mean, if you're in a simulation, that means you would be a machine or a robot of some sort, wouldn't you? I mean, if you're playing, a video game, is that little digital character that's inside of the machine any less than a machine? It's a video game character. So if we're in a simulation, that means we're all simulated characters. Matrix characters. Having a human experience. So, you got to think about it. Whatever created quantum computing came from the same creator consciousness, macro, micro, as above, so below. And I mean, that's pretty much the thing that you have to keep in mind, is it doesn't matter whether you're on flat Earth or round Earth. Whatever you believe, you are believing flat Earth and round Earth, just like you're believing you're a Christian or a Muslim or a Jew or whatever. It's the same thing. It's a belief system. Someone has told you something and you believed it. You corralled together with evidence that they provided for you, creating their own reality like gods. Because it doesn't matter what you believe, it's going to go back to a source that created it. Look at this evidence that we found. Great. Who created that evidence? Well, the person that did the research. Okay, great. What about the person that did the other research? And now you have an argument. Now you have separation. Now you have a flat earther instead of a human earther. It's just what it is. It's going to be interesting to see how all this pans out. It certainly is. Certainly is. However, I agree. I agree with the angel number. Patience pays. As I see a fire truck heading this way. Tells me all I need to know about somebody being impatient in traffic during the holiday season. Had to get out there and get that gift instead of sitting under a tree all year long and working on one in the present moment. That's what it is. I mean, to each his own. It's not a concern of me. But it is alarming that you would think someone who broke outside of the matrix, like what you ladies are talking about, no matter who it is, if that were to be true, that they guided a spiritual leader, a spiritual healer, a spiritual truth seeker, a spiritual whistleblower, whatever you want to call it, regardless if it matches Pisces, Sun, Gemini, Moon, Lover's card energy or not. You talk about humanity sat from before October watching an individual that they were waiting, because you said they had a platform, and that people just sat back and watched, waiting for that individual to not make it so that they would have a story. And then they failed. And then I mean, that is alarming, just being able to say, and how you would handle it with sanity. The question is, how many of you are those people they're talking about? all over the planet. If that were to be me, the entrepreneur, the healer, the Pisces sun, Gemini moon, earth angel that they tried to sacrifice and sat waiting to see if the magic worked, and sat waiting to see if the sacrifice ever happened, so that they could swoop in with planted evidence, bribes they took. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? What a beautiful lesson they must be learning right now. If that is true, now will they try to control that narrative? Will they try to switch it up? Well, I don't know. You ladies have been talking about it, and if two shall see, so shall it be. More than one of you have been able to tell that story since before you got tired. How many times have you heard a tarot reader say, I'm tired of telling this story of them trying to sacrifice an earth angel, of them sitting back waiting for the magic to work, of them doing it over and over again and it never worked? I bet they are mad. And now they have reaped what they have sown. Now they are going to get months. That's what all next year is about. Right? I have to go through trying to figure out what energy you ladies are talking about that matches me and my 5-star reviews as a teacher, as a healer, as a Pisces sun, Gemini moon, with gangs of people failing, covens of witches losing to karma. That's what it is. So, enjoy. I had a blast. I had an absolute blast with this fiasco, and I'm sure patience would pay. It's kind of what they're sitting back waiting to see how it's going to unfold. However, if they don't understand the law of karma and cause and effect, not taking action is taking action, and the universe does not discriminate. So that's going to be people having to look. Number one, do they have divine protection? Number two, what was their divine intention that is being returned tenfold? It's what it is. It's universal law. You can't change that. And it may be multiplied even more than that, because you're talking about a good deal for me, a good deal for you, and we clean up the playground. And when any one of those points of the Trinity are not followed, then it adds to the karma tenfold. If there's one of those points missing out of a good deal for you, a good deal for me, and we clean up the playground, well, then you have 3 more negative reactions to each one of those points. It's the flower of life. When you branch off of that point, you have to go to other points. Well, if those points don't make it, there's a break in the system. Spokes in a wheel. Follows the same basic, it's the building blocks of life. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll certainly be interesting to see. Will it be shocking? Absolutely. What does divine karma look like? I fully agree with you girls. That's why you don't prolong their karma. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to prolong their karma. That's why you keep hearing lawsuit energy. Why would you possibly want to get in a lawsuit and create more drama karma? When you let go and give it to God, and the domino effect begins. It's just what it is. Just what it is. Nothing we can do about that. Oh, hey, look at that. They are closing. The entire store is 25% off. Imagine that. Closing at Christmas. Stores are closing at Christmas. Now, what happens when this joker is still open next year, since it said closing last year, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure they said that shit. To me, what happened to false advertisement when we were growing up? Oh, that probably jammed up the court system. Screw it, just let them lie. You're supposed to tell the truth and the whole truth, nothing but the truth, but we'll take a bribe and let them lie. It's just what it is. You know, they're stuck in a hell of a mental prison. That's what it is. You got to keep in mind all this black magic, witchcraft, and bullshit. God likes to have magic moments too. Will certainly be interesting to see how it all pans out. It will certainly be interesting to see how it all pans out. I wouldn't quote this as being true, but I would say it's going to all pan out like Pan of the Dragons is cooking on the stove. Namaste.